Greetings. This is Mushtaq Memon, Professor Emeritus from Washington State University. We are going to start something new today, and we'll be talking about sheep and goats with the title From Pastures to People: The Global Impact of Sheep and Goats. Most of the people think that they are very, if not same, very similar animals. Even in textbook, you see the chapters are written on sheep and goat with the impression that, boy, they must be very similar animals. But let me share with you that similarities and the uniqueness of these two species. So, similarities, sheep and goats are what they call small ruminants, where large ruminants are cattle, water buffalo, for example. And they are small ruminants because large ruminants and small ruminants, both of them have four stomachs. So they are able to digest and metabolize all the grasses and green stuff they graze on. And then they produce, they provide milk, meat, and fiber, both of them. And they are adaptable to harsh conditions, which I like to call your attention. As you can see on this slide, is from Badia region of Jordan. It's a desert area which very limited vegetation and very little, if any, water availability, but these animals are able to survive. And if we get a little close to the Badia regions, which I worked for twice in different areas of the region, as you can see here, is a bare desert area, and water is provided with trucks. As the truck has arrived, as you can see, these sheep are getting close to it, but it's so hot. Then on right hand side slide, you see these two sheep and a goat are taking shelter in the shadow of the truck. You can imagine how hot it is, but these animals are able to survive. Now, what is the difference between what we call grazing and browsing? Well, goats are what they call browsers. They prefer shrubs and leaves, where the sheep are more kind of grazers, and they prefer pastures and things like that, as you can see on these slides. Now there are some differences. For instance, the hair coat. The goats are more kind of, as you can see, they've got hair. Their tail points up, as you can see in this goat on the top, and the horns often curve back. The sheep obviously has a woolen coat, and tail hangs down. Now the behavior is also very unique. The goats are very curious, independent, and they climb the trees, small trees, very quickly. As you can see on left hand side picture is from Morocco, that how this one goat is all the way up on the top trying to find her favorite leaves to eat. But the sheep are more, they have a strong flock instinct to follow the group. Now, as a reproduction specialist, I had to bring some information about reproduction. So here we are, sheep and goats. Their estrus cycle, or the reproduction cycle, is a little shorter in sheep, about on average 17 days, where the goat is about 21 days. Now, within this breeding cycle, or estrus cycle, there's a short duration or period when these animals are receptive to the male, what we call estrus, E-S-T-R-U-S, as you can see here. So in the female sheep, which is called ewe, it's a little shorter than the goats. But on overall, it's not really that much difference. By the way, goat female is called doe. Then the other part is seasonality. Now, what does that mean? Well, what we call these animals are seasonally polyestrous. I mean, they come in reproductive cycle in one particular season. So in northern hemisphere, in the United States, Canada, and some of the European countries in the north, they start cycling when we have less light during daytime and long nights. So this is what the fall season is for. Now in the United States, fall season is just started. So this is the time that these animals start cycling. Now, but be careful where you are working, who you are working with. In many tropical countries close to equator, the farmers will tell you that their animals cycle year round. I'm talking about goats now. So, just keep your mind, open about those differences. Now, the behavioral signs of heat, whenever they come in estrus, now the farmers know that now these animals are getting ready to be bred. How they can find out? Well, the sheep is very settled behavior. They don't show much, even though if they are in estrus or heat, they will follow the ram, but they are not as vocal and obvious behavior as the goats have. The doe will go ahead and really, really follow closely to their buck, the male. They will urinate in front of him. They wag tails and do all kind of different things to attract him. Now, the pregnancy duration is about the same, about 5 months, with some variation a few days here and there. Now, as a practical impact, in most of these places where animals are being grazed outside, especially mountainous areas. Now, this picture happened to be from Armenia, where this farmer have sheep and goats together, and it works very well because, as we talked about, the goats like trees and leaves, whereas the sheep stay down. So they graze different preferences they have. In this way, it works out very well, and they complement each other's grazing behavior. Now, there are some very unique and very interesting breeds in these, two of our species. The sheep, as you know, we call them ovine, and the goat we call caprine. So both of these species have the unique breeds, which produce very nice fiber, which we use. For instance, I have brought these only two slides here for you for reference. Kashmir goat. Now, Kashmir goat produces this fiber, and if you go to some nice fancy clothing store, you will find some Kashmir sweaters and scarves and things like that. They're more expensive than the cotton or polyester. In the same way, the merino sheep has outstanding wool, and it's used for blankets and some other clothing. And so these animals contribute very well with our, human survival. Now, with that, I'm going to stop at this video, but I'd like to invite you on my next video, which I'm very excited to share with you, diving a little deep in goats, which I have worked quite a bit. So we'll be talking what I call it medicine to milk and celebrations to companionship. I wouldn't reveal too much details at this time. So for now, I wish you well. Until next time, I'll see you hopefully in a week or two. Bye-bye.